you're not first, you gotta be good. So what makes you better than the last?
That's a good question. Hustling, like study, like, so I'm in the tech world, and we had Twitter. I was at Twitter's conference on stage, and they had, the lineup looked like what you might fear it looked like. And I said, look at trending topics on Twitter, and look at who's in this room of developers who's about to make money on Twitter. And that's a problem, right? And I'm privileged enough, again, I get to be on stage and say it, and by that time they couldn't kick me off because I was already there. But, and then what's going to happen is the immune response is triggered. And they'd be like, who are you to tell us, how are you good enough, right? That's the question, why are you good? And I said, well, for me, I know, one, Ev Williams is CEO of Twitter, and I've known him for 10 years, and I was the first user of Blogger, his last company. And so he knows I've got history. I know that they did text ads on their system 10 years ago, and that's how they're trying to make money today. I know that the chief operating officer of Twitter had a company called Spy On It in 1999 that was doing real-time notifications. I can tell you chapter and verse of all the senior executives in that company, what their history is, what they were doing, how they were making money on real-time 10 years ago, and what happened to all these companies and why they succeeded or failed. And can you do that? And the person asked me that question, couldn't, and in fact didn't know the names of those people. So it's like, all you have to do is be the best in the world, and they can't mess with you. And it's like that's, and it's not like everything. Like, I mean, if you talk about, so if you talk about like the history of blogging, or you talk about certain kinds of technologies, or you talk about like, Prince's records, like I'm going to be right there at the top of the world. Like, who knows what they're talking about? And then you talk about other categories, I know what I don't know, and I'm not afraid to ask it, and that's not my thing. So I play in the realms that I know. And then use my ignorance as strength. So like going into policy stuff, like I knew nothing. I said, listen, talk to me like I'm, a kid, because I don't know anything about this world, but I do know tech, and I know how to transform culture, and that's what we're about to do in policy. And I know that, some government agencies are going to look like newspapers in 5 years and say, what the hell just happened? This technology, trying to on our head, and I know how that can happen. And then people are like, they're welcome. Like, you know your stuff, I know mine. Let's work together. So it's just studying.
And also, I want to say that for me, it's no different from any other business. You have to provide value, and that's what these people do. If you don't provide value, no one's going to listen to what you have to say, because why should they? So to me, it's like the more value you provide, the more people you're going to have. I mean, you have to let the people know you're providing value, but as long as you're doing that, then if someone can get something from it, you're going to have people that won't even listen to you.
How did Vogue let you in?
It's like what Baratunde was just saying, where you start working and you do the best work that you can, and then one person notices you, and another person notices you, and like you, my first, one of my first opportunities to get a voice out in a different way was from Farai Judea on News and Notes. I was part of the
No Farai Judea.
Farai's on it. We love her. Yeah, so she definitely, read my blog and put me on, and she was like, I want to be part of the Bloggers Roundtable. So being able to put my voice out there, it began something. And I think also Vogue, and it's funny to me that it's Italian Vogue. It's not American Vogue. They are not interested. No, it's sad. I know, I agree. But that's how it is, I guess. But yeah, Italian Vogue contacted me.
And a minor thing on that, which is, it is one or two people that make a difference in your career, right? Like you talk to somebody and they do an interview, or they introduce you to somebody, and there's that connect. And I think it like goes on in my career, like Tim O'Reilly in the tech world. Tim O'Reilly's a big deal. He put me on stage at a conference, and you get a whole new audience you didn't have before. Part of it is like look at systems, like there's some folks that get over, and like, who is it that gave you that break? And find that person and go tell them why they need to hear you. Like it could be one person that you barely know changes your life all the time. And I think that's kind of undersold, is like understand who that connection is. Vigilant.